Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radha, Shyama Sundar Radha, Shyama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalabha Kati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalabha Kati Sadma. Bandamoye Savadhana Mate. Bandamoye Savadhana Mate. Jahara prasad bhaye bhavata riyaja jahara. Jahara prasad bhaye bhavata riyaja jahara. Krishna prapti hai jaha haite. Krishna prapti hai jaha haite. Guru mukha padma vakya chitateka rihaya kya. Guru mukha Guru mukha padma vakya chitateka
Rihayakya Padma Vakya Aranakariya Mane Asa Aranakariya Mane Asa Sri Guru Ranarati Aisevu Tamagati Sri Guru Sri Guru Ranarati Aisevu Tamagati Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asa Chakchudan Dila Jai Janme Janme Prabhu Sai Chakchudan Dila Jai Janme Janme Prabhu Sai Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashita Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashita Prema Bhakti Jahan Haite Avidya Vinasa Jate Prema Bhakti Jahan Haite Avidya Vinasa Jate Vedega Jahara Charitra Vedega Jahara Charitra Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Divana Lokanath Lokera Divana कहा प्रभु कर दया देह मोरे पद छाया प्रभु पद कर दया देह मोरे पद छाया हे बेगाय घुसुक त्रिभुवन श्रील प्रभुपाद पतित पवन श्रील प्रभुपाद पतित पवन जय प्रभुपद 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 जय प्रभुपद श्रील प्रभुपद 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 जय प्रभुपद 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 श्रील प्रभुपद 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 Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada Guru Puja ki Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desa Tarine. Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. सभी लोग जो जहाँ है वहीं से प्रभु का नाम लीजिए। हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare चैतन्य महाप्रभु का आशीर्वाद है ये। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Jai Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Haribo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Gaur Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hari Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा। कृपया सब लोग बैठ जाइए। हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा। अभी यहाँ पर इंग्लिश में भागवतम कक्षा होगी। जो लोग इंग्लिश समझ सकते हैं वो यहाँ बैठ के अटेंड कर सकते हैं। अगर इंग्लिश नहीं समझ सकते तो हिंदी में कक्षा बलराम हॉल में हो रही है, वहां पे जा सकते हैं। इंग्लिश नहीं समझ और सकते तो अगर आप नहीं बैठ सकते तो कृपया आप हो रही है वहां पे जा सकते हैं। और अगर आप नहीं बैठ सकते तो कृपया आप कहीं और बैठ जाइए। इस हॉल में सब लोग बैठना होगा। कृपया सब लोग बैठ जाइए या सीढ़ियों पे चले जाइए। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारे। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीर वनचारी, जमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे, जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम, जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय, जय गौर निताय। जय जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपद, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपद। हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। गौर प्रेमानंदी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया। भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 23, The Brahmana's Wives Blessed. Text 8. Dikshaya Pashu Sanstaya Sotra Manyascha Sattamaha अन्यत्र दीक्षितस्यापि नान्नश्नन् हि दुष्यति। दीक्षाया पशु संस्थाय सौत्रामण्याश्च सत्तमः अन्यत्र दीक्षितस्यापि नान्नम् अश्नन् हि दुष्यति। दीक्षाया पशु संस्थाय सौत्रामण्यश्च सत्तमः अन्यत्र दीक्षितस्यापि नान्नम् अश्नन् हि दुष्यति। सौत्रामण्याश्च सत्तमः अन्यत्र दीक्षितस्यापि नान्नम् अश्नन् हि दुष्यति। दीक्षाया पशु संस्थाय सौत्रामण्याश्च तत्तमः अन्यत्र दीक्षितस्यापि नान्नम् अश्नन् हि दुष्यति। माता जी, दीक्षाया पशु संस्थाय सौत्रामण्यश्च सत्तमः अन्यत्र दीक्षितस्यापि Nanam asnani dushyati Dikshaya. Beginning with the initiation for a sacrifice. Pashu Sanstaya. Until sacrificing the animal. Sotramanya. Outside of the sacrifice known as Sotramani. Cha and Sattamaha, O purest ones, Anyatra, elsewhere, Dikshitasya, of one who has been initiated for the sacrifice. Api, even, na, not, annam, food, ashnan, eating, he indeed dushyati creates offense. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, except during the interval between the initiation of the performer of a sacrifice and the actual sacrifice of the animal, O most pure Brahmanas, it is not contaminating for even the initiated to partake of food, at least in sacrifices other than Sotramani. Please repeat. Except during the interval between the initiation of the performer of a sacrifice and the actual sacrifice of the animal, O most pure Brahmanas, it is not contaminating for even the initiated to partake of food, at least in sacrifices other than Sotramani. Purport. The cowherd boys anticipated the possible objection from the Brahmanas that they could not give the boys any food because they themselves had not eaten, and that a priest initiated to perform a sacrifice should not eat. Therefore, the boys humbly informed the Brahmanas about the various technicalities of ritualistic sacrifice. The cowherd boys were not aware of the formalities of Vedic culture, but their real intention was simply to render loving service to Lord Krishna. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupadam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitansya He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deen Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are in Canto 10. And of course, the Canto 10 is completely, fully full of the pastimes, childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna. And in these pastimes here, Lord Krishna is demonstrating the real purpose of the Vedic sacrifices, the real purpose of doing anything and everything in our life. Yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad jahosi dadanti, yad tapasyasi kaunteya kushva mad arpanam. Whatever you eat, whatever you austerities, whatever yajna, whatever donations, whatever you do, your job, your family, your children, your husband, your wife, your duties. Krishna is saying, everything, offer them to me. That is why in the process of Krishna consciousness, this is not a ritualistic ceremony which the Brahmanas were performing, and they were planning this Sotram, they were doing this actual sacrifice of the animal. And these young boys are mentioning, oh, most pure Brahmanas. They are calling them most pure. And they are heading for a animal sacrifice. Generally, animal sacrifice and eating flesh of the sacrificed animal, it is done by the lowest people who are under the mode of ignorance or even sometimes Chandala level. They do it. They do animal sacrifice and eat their flesh. Tamoguna. Like many people, they do Kali Puja, offer an animal sacrifice, and then eat the flesh. That's the worship in the mode of ignorance. Vedas are very generous. They wanted to, or Vyasadeva wanted to include everyone. Even though somebody is very much inclined and addictive, this ignorant, tamasic activity of killing animal, they still wanted to regulate his activity. The whole purpose of human form of life is regulation, sense control, become Goswami. Rup Goswami mentioned in Nectar of Instruction, right in the beginning, in the preface, the purpose of Krishna conscious movement is to control our senses and become Goswami. And the process, of course, has been described very elaborately everywhere. And the basic instruction to be able to follow these regulatory principles is to rise in the morning, attend Mangal Arati, chant 16 rounds, attend Bhagavatam class, follow 4 regulatory principles, or rather, automatically we will incline to follow 4 regulatory principles. Vasudeva Bhagavati bhakti-yoga prayojita janayati ashu vairagyam jnanam chajad ahatukam. Vasudeva Bhagavati, Krishna Vasudeva. If we offer ourselves in his service, bhakti-yoga prayojita, we engage positively, nicely in the service of the Lord. And what is the result? What is the result of that service? Janayati ashu vairagyam. Janayati means quickly arise. Janayati means arise, and ashu means quickly. Like one time, one of my relatives in Shamli, a nearby village or now city, 2 hours drive from Delhi, she mentioned to me, my husband, every evening practically he would come drunk after eating chicken curry or egg or whatever. And he attended programs of your ISKCON. And now, instead of eating all those things and drinking wine and beating children, now he is chanting rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. what is in this mantra? What is there in your process that a man addicted to these activities, he became liberated from those activities or entanglement of those activities? I said, it is the process. And this process is not new. This process is not something that Prabhupada invented or anyone else invented. It is the Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself. He revived this chanting of holy names of the Lord 525 years ago. And the whole India was just waving in the wave of Harinam Sankirtan because of his presence, because of his power. Even big impersonalist, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was delivered by Lord Chaitanya. He was a staunch impersonalist, but he was delivered. He himself realized, I was eating the khali. Khali means when they churn the sarson or the mustard seeds, then oil comes out and the khali is left. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya compared his impersonalism to the khali, that I was entangled and I was not able looking for the juice. So the point is, these sacrifices, these are karma kanda. Karma kanda, jnana kanda. Karma yoga, jnana yoga. We have to understand the difference. When we do our activities to worship demigods, to get some rewards, benedictions, to satisfy our senses, our material desires, it is called karma kanda. Jnana kanda. When we want to pursue the impersonal worship of God, when we wanted to pursue that God doesn't have a form, we've got entangled into speculation and jnana kanda. But on the other hand, karma yoga, dedicate our activities to Krishna, linking Krishna through our devotion, devotional service, linking to Krishna through our love, loving devotional service. That is karma yoga. Whatever I have, akama karma yoga, sakama karma yoga. I may have desire, I may not have desire. Akama sarva kamova. Akama, I have no desire. Sarva kamova, I am full of desire. Moksha kama udharadi. I have a desire to get liberation from the material worlds and suffering. But what is recommended for any one of us, any situation, any status, any thinking, any philosophy, what is recommended? Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivrena. Intense devotional service. I have seen hundreds of devotees in the temple. They are on the path of Tivrena. Like I used to drive in USA. And sometimes on the highways, they have written your speed limit 45 to 75 miles an hour. They have specifically mentioned you cannot drive below 45 because of the highway. At the same time, you cannot drive more than 75 because of the highway. They are regulated. But one time I was in Germany, and there was a highway, no speed limit. And I was like, wow, that's nice. So in Krishna consciousness, there is no limit. No check that how fast, but of course, guidance is necessary. Association is necessary. We cannot win because we are, Krishna consciousness, ISKCON is an organized preaching movement. We are not that anyone can do anything and say, I am Prabhupada's disciple or I am follower of Prabhupada or I am disciple of such and such in ISKCON, but I do whatever I want. No. It is not allowed. This is ISKCON. We are representing ISKCON. We are representing Srila Prabhupada. We are representing all of you. You will be ashamed if you see me smoking on the street. How can I do it? I cannot do it. It's not that you are forcing me, but it's my character, my culture, my understanding. I won't do anything which will put Srila Prabhupada down. Never, never, ever. Rather, I would prefer, if I am feeling problems, inside or outside, I am affected by Maya, I will reform, reorganize, recollect, and fight back with Maya. Even if okay, let me ask. How many of you, raise your hands if you want, directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, how many of you have committed offenses to the holy name? Raise your hands. Okay, good. I'm one of them. How many of you have committed offenses to the holy dham? Knowingly, unknowingly? Raise your hands. How many of you have committed offenses to other devotees? Knowingly or unknowingly? Raise your hands. We are honest. We are all honest people here. Why we are honest? Because we have taken so much time and trouble to go back to Godhead. We are doing these austerities of rising in the morning, chanting 16 rounds, and not eating food from outside. Why we are doing all of this? We are doing all of this because we wanted to go back to Godhead. It's not easy. We have to catch the speed. We have to get on board. To get on the board, we have to have boarding pass. We have to have proper qualification, immigration papers. We have to have everything in place. Like when I went to USA, I was in full of anxiety. 100 things were there to meet and put in place together so that I could cross the immigration. 100 papers. And now I'm thinking it's just like this. I can do whatever I want. I can go back to Godhead. That is not going to happen. We have to squeeze ourselves. We have to ride on this ass body and cross these nations. This body is like an ass. But we have to ride on this and cross this. Like milk. Milk can disturb our stomach. But the yogurt coming from milk will cure that stomachache or dysentery or problem in stomach. Same way, this body has been given to us to use every single movement in service of Krishna, in preaching. Like, if my friend, he gives me, or if he gave me a wooden big log of sandalwood, and I went back home and thinking, wow, nice log of wood. And I put that into the fire, and now I'm getting heat in the cold of that fire, and my friend visits me. What you have done, that is not an ordinary wood, that is sandalwood. Why are you wasting you can get fire from any other ordinary wood. Why you have put this? Similarly, we had all kinds of enjoyment of eating, mating, sleeping, defending in all the species of life. Ahara, nidra, bhay, mathunam, cha. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Samanyam etad pashubhi naranam. It's common between us and animals. Dharmo hi eko adhiko vishesh. Understanding who am I, what I'm doing, what is the goal of life, that is the only extra feature of human form of life. If we waste this extra feature of human form of life in just for the same thing which are available to hawks and dogs, in those propensities, we are no better. Dharmena hina pashui samana. We are no better than a polished animal. So here, I want to just mention the level of benediction we have here. Ramanujacharya, his disciple Parasar Bhatt. One time Parasar Bhatt was approached by a hunter. It's a real story. I heard from Radhanath Goswami Maharaj. He approached Parasar Bhatt and said, Maharaj, I got this rabbit. I am a hunter by profession. My livelihood is based on this killing animals and selling their skins and bones or flesh or whatever. But I could not kill this rabbit. Parasar Bhatt asked, why you did not kill, why you were not able to kill this rabbit? You are a merciless hunter. He said what happened. When I was about to shoot him with my arrow, he came to my feet and began to lick and began to circumambulate my feet and began to cuddle with my feet. And I felt compassion. I felt, I don't want to kill this innocent animal. Immediately Parasar Bhatt fainted. After putting water on him, after shaking him, Parasar Bhatt came back to consciousness. And the hunter asked, I told you just my dilemma, and you got fainted? He said, yeah, you mentioned your dilemma, but I had my own dilemma. That Lord Krishna has appeared in this world, in his personal form, in his holy names. And he is there not to kill, but just to give mercy and love. And I have no taste to love his lotus feet. I have no taste to touch his feet. I have no taste to offer obeisances to his lotus feet. And I know if a hunter like you can be so merciful on an animal, just by he came and licked your feet, what Krishna can give us if we just pay obeisances. Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. How much we can get from Krishna, we cannot even imagine. So, there are many, many instances where devotees, like in this case here, this animal sacrifice which is being conducted, pure Brahmanas are doing it. They are, in fact, those are the Brahmanas, they are doing this karma kanda, but still, they were able to revive the animal, sometimes even give them to the higher states of human form of life. So those were the Brahmanas of that type. Not the low caste means tamasic people who will offer animal in a sacrifice and eat the flesh. They are different. That's why they are pure Brahmanas. But in Kali Yuga, this type of sacrifices are banned. Ashwamedham, Gwalambam, Devrena Sutaupatti, Patrapali, something like that, and then Sannyasam. 5 things are banned or varjita in Kali Yuga. Number 1, Ashwamedham. No Ashwamedhagyas are allowed. Because there are not pure Brahmanas available, no pure ghee, lakdi, whatever is needed is not available. It's not there, so it's not recommended to do any fire sacrifice, Ashwamedha, Gomedha, cow sacrifice in the fire sacrifice. Devrena Putrena cannot get son from the older brother of the husband or the younger brother of the husband. Devrena means both sides, Jeth and they were both. In like Vyasdev, he was invited by Satyavati, my son, impregnate your sister-in-laws, because they could not have children. So Vyasdev was the older brother of those three brothers of Vichitravirya, not 3, of Vichitravirya. So son of Shantanu. So Vyasdev was invited, but that was in Dwapar Yuga, not in Kali Yuga, not allowed. And third thing is offering flesh. And 5th thing is sannyasa. It's not recommended in Kali Yuga. But Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, Lord Chaitanya, all they allowed to give this sannyasa even in Kali Yuga for the sake of emergency. Because we have less time left. The time is going to come. You are standing in a line, and if somebody is angry behind you, he may just bite a flesh out of you and start eating it without any problem. Cannibalism, it may come very soon. So we have not much time. We do not have much time. ISKCON is trying to save the whole world. It's not that we are saving only ourselves. We have a big task. We are winning. We are rising. We are fighting with Maya. Our soldiers, I have seen many devotees distributing books everywhere, practically everywhere. And sometimes they would approach me, take book. Even though I have all the books at home, I would still take. I will still donate to them. Why? Because I want them to encourage. I want to encourage them so that they can continue on. Do not feel discouraged about that. No, I don't want it. Why? Because this movement has to spread. During last almost 25 years, I witnessed, I used to come 25 years ago from USA, then there was no many devotees. Not, we would see even a single person chanting on the streets or distributing books in the trains or buses. But now, we have practically in any bus, any train you would ride, you would find devotees distributing books, because that is the essence of Krishna consciousness. If we do not preach, if we do not distribute books, if we do not engage or support books distribution, it's not enough. Those who are book distributors, one time, Hridayananda Maharaj, he was visiting our temple, and I told Maharaj, we are doing book distribution. Maharaj, how are you doing? I said, Maharaj, we look into the yellow pages of the dictionary, or not yellow pages, in the dictionary, and search by last name of Indians. And we find their names in the dictionary, note their address, call them that we are coming. So we go to their homes, we make halwa prasadam, take Bhagavad-Gita, give them Bhagavad-Gita, give them prasadam and bring donation to the temple. Maharaj said, that's very good, but that's not enough. Why? Because it is not purifying you, because the problem is in you. Book distribution is the most purifying form of devotion service, because you are standing and people are kicking on your face. People are rejecting you like a just garbage. People are humiliating you, insulting you in many ways. And yet you are taking it as purification on you. You are taking it as, yes, I do not deserve even this service, but I'm doing it because this is Prabhupada wanted. I'm doing it, but I'm not worthy of it. That's why people are just chastising me like anything. But even if I'm standing on the street, no book is going, I'm still blessed. Why? Because I'm being purified. If somebody give us correction, somebody chastises us, some difficulty we face in our life, some difficulty we face with our spouse, children, boss, colleagues, devotees, devotees, that's the path of purification. For example, if somebody is hitting you with the gold coins, are you going to be mad on that person? Let me know. Raise your hands if you are going to be mad on that person. Raise your hands if you will be happy to take those bidding of the coins. Raise your hands if you like somebody is throwing on you the gold coins and you are being hit by here and there. Your blood is flowing here, blood is flowing here. Would you like it? Yes, raise your hands if you like it. So somebody is purifying you by their harsh words, harsh comments, giving you difficult times. Will you be mind any time in future? You would say, yes, I deserve it. But what I'm getting in return, I'm getting gold coins. What I'm getting in return, I'm being purified. What I'm getting in return, I'm getting rid of my karma. Many times, how many of you, raise your hands if you do it. When we are in difficulty, raise your hands if you blame God. Krishna, you have put me so much, giving me so much trouble. I am just being beaten by you every day. You are the one because of I'm in trouble. I am looking for the day when devotees give me this Bhagavad-Gita and this chanting mala. Because since that day I am not happy. And how many of you are saying this? Raise your hands. Except me. Okay. So the point is, we are here talking about the sacrifice, the ritualistic sacrifices Brahmanas are doing. Whatever we do, if Krishna is not pleased at the end of the day, whatever we have done throughout our life, ante narayana smriti, it's not magical. It's not by chance. It's not that it can happen overnight. I will chant at the very end and go. No, it's by practice. In the age of Kali Yuga, the best sacrifice is Harinam Sankirtan Yajna. This Harinam Sankirtan Yajna is very prominent. In temples all over the world, Srila Prabhupada recommended, like I was in Montreal long back, and Bhakti Marga Swami was there, and Maharaj was just asked all the ladies and girls, get dressed up nicely, beautifully, and all the devotees get dressed up nicely, beautifully, nice tilak, mala, kanthi mala, everything, garlands, and he made 2 nice rows of the devotees and the mridangas, and he was leading the kirtan and going on the whole Montreal downtown everywhere. Why he was doing it? Because that is the best thing we can give to the society, the holy names of the Lord. Anyone who would hear that chanting, they are getting piety accumulated. Giving Krishna, nachatasmat manusheshu kaschit me priyakrittama. Lord Krishna is saying, nobody is more dear to me than one who tells about me to others. Preaching is the essence. Books are the basis. Purity is the force. These are the 3 principles of ISKCON. We are preaching movement. Sometimes people say, why you are bothering other people? They are enjoying their life. They have their own philosophy. They have their own religion. I am okay. You are okay. Why bother? I said, yes, I am okay, but you are not okay. I have got to tell you. Because you are not okay. If a child, while flying kite, he is falling off the roof, is he okay? No. Would I allow him? Would we allow him to fall down? How many of you will allow? Those who will stop, push child back to save him, will push, right? That's why we have to go out. Every single reason is there to go out. Like we went the other day in one of the Ghaziabad Engineering College, and we took the devotees with us from Ghaziabad ISKCON temple and got them introduced with the whole faculty. And now, because we initiated that thing from Vrindavan temple, now Ghaziabad ISKCON devotees are now regularly going every week, and practically 300-400 faculty and students are attending those programs of Bhagavad-Gita. No effort is going to go waste. That's my experience. You distribute prasad, you distribute cards, impact will come. One time I was distributing books, Bhagavad-Gita, and the person was almost mad on me, but then he became calm down. He said, I do not know. You are the third person who showed me this book in last 1 week. Better I take it now. So he was mad, but he took it. Because he was confronted by two other places, by other devotees. And they just left him. In one concert, devotees were distributing books. And a devotee joined ISKCON and he was asked, how did you come to know about ISKCON and how did you join? Where did you know about us? He said, mercy from up above. So what happened? He was attending a concert and devotees gave a book to somebody. He was not interested. He just threw the book in the air and that book landed on the head of somebody. He said, oh wow. Oh, I was looking for this book. He became devotee. And he said, mercy from up above. One time, somebody was talking to his girlfriend on the telephone, mobile phone, and we approached, and we showed him, he was talking. He was listening to his girlfriend. I said, okay, here's a book, Bhagavad-Gita, yoga, made everything. And he got interrupted. His girlfriend asked, but who are you have to talking to? Oh, I'm not talking to anyone. These guys are bothering me. And they're showing me a book on yoga and meditation and Krishna and God and whatnot. I'm not interested. She said, no, take it, I'm interested. So book distribution on mobile phone. So he got the book. She got the mercy on telephone. We never know from where. One time, Ganpati Maharaj was in town on Gaur Purnima. And Maharaj said, today is Gaur Purnima. Lord Chaitanya's mission to give Krishna consciousness to everyone. That's not complete. We are fasting, we know, but we have to go out anyways. We all got together, went out for Harinam for 2 hours. Maharaj gave mercy to everyone by giving cards, books and everything. Why? That's what Lord Chaitanya wanted. On one Gaur Purnima, in the morning, because that is, I'm telling you, what is the essence? These Brahmanas are pure and they are doing fire sacrifice, but they refused boys to give food in the name of rituals. One time of Gaur Purnima, I dressed up very nicely. Nice silk dhoti, kurta, everything. Nice tilak. All dressed up for Gaur Purnima, fired up to chant 25 rounds right the way in the morning. The moment I took my mat to sit on mat, temple kitchen manager Mataji came and said, Prabhu, last night we put butter to boil to become ghee and it boiled, but it's frozen again in the morning. I came in the morning and turned the gas on and I forgot to put it on the low fire, so that it will gradually melt. I put it in the hot, full flame. Underneath was water plus butter melted, and on top it was like a cake. And what happened? It burst like this, and the whole kitchen is now slippery, and everywhere is ghee on the walls and the roof and the floor and everywhere. If you put a step in the temple kitchen, you will just become flat right there. And Prabhu, here are the 4 paper towel rolls. And I request you with the folded hands, please go and clean up. Vijay Bhava. I went in the kitchen. It took me almost, because devotees are going to come for cooking and write the Mangal Arati. I went to the kitchen for 2 hours. 4 rolls were even not enough to clean the whole mess. I slept 3-4 times myself. Cleaned that up. Because the purpose was to do whatever is necessary to please Krishna. Pleasing Krishna means doing this seva which is standing in front of you like this. Do it now, Prabhu. You have to do it. No ways. So the point here is, these Brahmanas, their wives are more generous. Their wives are more learned. But they got stuck in those rituals of, this is not my seva. Many times I have seen devotees. Prabhu, can you do this? No, this is not my seva. Even one of my god brother, I went to his home. His daughter, 5-year-old, she did, because there was a home program, she did Arati. And I said, Sugopi, please go and wash dishes because you have done your Arati done. So she said, no, that's not my seva. So she was, at the age of 5, she could say, that's not my seva to wash dishes. But we don't want to do that. We want to do the needful. We wanted to get involved in a humble way. That's our goal. Do the needful. That's our point. Do the seva. So not to get stuck in the rituals, like devotional service change our karma. Srila Prabhupada said, you clap in the kirtan, you dance in the kirtan, your karma change, your lines change. Not by doing, I went to Ramdev Patanjali ashram in Haridwar for yoga class, and I saw some people were doing like this. I said, well, is that going to change any karma? He said, no, it will make our hair black. That's what Ramdev told us. And they would hold it like this. What you are going to get out of this? And you don't know even whether your hairs are getting black or not getting white just because of this. Because what is the connection? That's Ramdev Yoga. I'm taking his name, but that's what it is. That's what I saw. So these are, this Art Yoga, these Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, otherwise Karma Yoga linking to Krishna through service, linking to Krishna through the knowledge, transcendental knowledge. That's the Jnana Yoga. Otherwise the Jnana Kanda. If I talk about impersonal, it's Jnana Kanda. I am God, you are God, we are all God. I've seen. So here, the main thing is that we try to serve Krishna in a way that has been coming to me, being asked to me to do authoritatively. Whatever authority asks me to do, I do that. I do not whimsically go out and start doing whatever I want. That's not seva. So, the main thing is what this story of hunter and rabbit, what we learned from Parasar Bhatt, he realized immediately Krishna is so mercifully standing there. And if we touch his feet, if we offer obeisances to him, offer garlands to him, offer flowers to him, Abhishek, take Charnamrit, then our love for Krishna will come, mercy of Krishna will come, we will become peaceful, we will become happy. Krishna consciousness process is to relieve us from our own karma by purifying us. Krishna tattenukampa susumikshmano bhunjan evatma kratam vipakam hridavaga vapurvir vidhana namaste jivet mukti padesa daibhak. Daibhak means rightful claim. If whatever miseries, whatever difficulties we face in our life, if we take that as the mercy of the Lord, that, oh Lord Krishna, you are merciful, you are kind. You are giving me difficulties to purify me, to come to you. And that's my own karma. But you have reduced the intensity of the karma because I am in your service, because you care for me. That's why you are giving me at a very, very reduced rate. I deserve 100 slaps, but you just did like this, finish. I had like one time a temple president approached Prabhupada in one of the airport arrival address, and Prabhupada saw the temple president was just like putting long feet. And what happened? Prabhupada asked. He said, Prabhupada, I got a nail scratched my feet When I was walking, there was some construction going on. And Prabhupada right away said, yes, that's good, because you may have the karma of getting leg off cut today. Krishna saved you. Prabhupada said that. He's authority. He's Param Bhagavat, Mahabhagavat. He's Acharya of the time for 10,000 years. And he's telling that, yes, so whatever difficulty coming, Krishna is personalized and customized the plan for us. It is not just random. That the science is, if you do this, you will get this. If you go do this bad thing, you will get this bad result. That's science. But the art is mercy of Krishna. The highway, turtle highway, and super highway. On turtle highway, we are slowed down, we are distracted by so many things. We will achieve Krishna after maybe 200 lifetimes. Okay, that's slow lane, turtle lane. But then here is Srila Prabhupada is going very high speed with all the devotees and bhaktas in ISKCON, running, and his chariot is running like at the speed of 200 miles an hour, going like this, along with Rupa Goswamis and all Goswamis, and they are all going very fast on the high track. If we get hold in the same lane and catch the lotus feet of Prabhupada, we can get the same speed. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any questions or comments? Absolutely true. What Prabhu said is that we have to avoid fanaticism. Enthusiasm is important. Enthusiasm, utsaha, nishchay, dhairyat, Rupa Goswami mentioned. The thing is, enthusiasm means acting or doing devotional service under the guidance of senior devotees. Enthusiasm does not mean I am fanatic, I am going out on the street and doing whatever I am trying to do. We have to be in the organization in a line of disciplic succession, proper diksha, proper initiation, proper chanting, personal guidance, because gurus like Loka Nam Hitkarine Goswami Shat Goswami Ashtaka is a Nana Shastra Vicharanay ko nipuno Sadharma Sanstapako Vande Rup Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Nana Shastra. So devotees, we are following Goswamis who have extracted the best out of all the Vedic literature and put us in the books for us for next 10,000 years. And in the association of devotees, instead of like ekanta ki harer bhakti utpataya kalpate. If we do something, ekant means autonomous. I can do whatever I want. Utpataya kalpate, simply disturbance to the society. Simply disturbance to the ISKCON society. If we do something which is not recommended, authorized by proper authority, it is a pure and pure disturbance. That is why enthusiasm is important. Utsaha, nishchay, dhairya, patience. Results will come. And then engage in devotional service. So that's a good question. I hope that I answered that. Any other question? Yes, there is a question from Shri Ram Pandit Prabhuji. Very good question that what would we prefer, Yajna or the Harinam Sankirtan, or deity worship even? We have to run the temple, we have to put the example. In Kali Yuga, deity worship is not recommended, sannyas is not recommended, but we are doing deity worship, we are opening temples, we are giving initiation for sannyas also. That's kind of, we are doing right now, going against the flow a little bit here. But in this age, like Krite Dhyayato Punsa, Tretam Yajato Maghi, Dwapare Archayam, Khalauta Dhari Kirtanam. In Satyuga, people do meditation, 10,000 years, 20,000 years, 30,000 because Ayu age was 100,000 years. In Treta, fire sacrifice because they could do it because they had life of 10,000 years. In Dwapar Archayam, they could do deity worship in Dwapar Yuga because the life span was 1,000 years. But in Kali Yuga, we have a short lifespan. We have Manda Sumanda Matiyo, Manda Bhagya, Kalpayusha, Upadrita. We are always disturbed. We have less life, and we are always disturbed due to the body, mind, and everything. So in Kali Yuga, Harinam Sankirtan will work only this. Harirnam, Harirnam, Harirnam eva kevalam, Khalau nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatir natha. In the holy name, take the holy names of the Lord, take the holy names of the Lord, take the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Brother Adi Pran mentioned that. Is because in Kali Yuga only that thing will work. And that's why we want to go on Harinam, because not only we are benefiting ourselves, but we are benefiting the all trees, plants, insects, animals, everyone out there. That's why Harinam Sankirtan is very important. And when we do it, we also give out, hand out small books for people to take back home and then understand a little bit more. That's what we have been doing. Like we are having program 600 boys in GLA, and authorities have allowed. Now the impact of preaching is, now we have in this program on 25th, all the heads of the departments, sir, we want you to come and chant in our department. We want here, because when you chanted last time in our department, all good news came. I want them to happen again. Why? Because they have taken prasadam. They are eating halwa. Prasad offered to, because pineapple halwa can turn everyone's mind, crooked mind. That's our secret weapon. That's what we are using. All these students, young boys and girls. When I said, if one girl or one lady becomes a devotee, she can turn 1,000 people, just one. There's the power of women here. Because she will follow, she will cook prasadam, offer it to Krishna, give it to everyone, all of them will become devotees right away because they have power that of cooking. When I said that in IMS Ghaziabad, after the class, 20 girls came to me. Said, sir, you mentioned this. Tell us what to do now. I said, you are living in hostel. Chant one round. Have photograph of Krishna, photo, not deity, photo. And just offer an incense, pay obeisances. And whatever you eat, just say Hare Krishna. Simple. So they got initiated. Not by me, by Prabhupada. That is the power. That's what we are trying. We have to do it. We have to engage. If we want to avoid our fall down, I'm challenging here now. If we want to avoid our fall down, we have to preach. Preaching is the essence. If we do not bring new people to Krishna, then we will fall down. Like Prabhupada said to Mahatma Gandhi, you are famous, now preach with me. Gandhi said, did not listen, got shot dead. Inglorious death, Prabhupada warned him. He did not listen. Because he was not using his position to preach Krishna consciousness. Anywhere, Grahe Dako, Bane Dako, Sadahari, Bole Dako, preach, preach, preach. That's it. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare